to Mercy Kill, the show about rusty speedruns and the wonderful speedrunners behind them. I'm Skybills, your host, and this is episode 78, Titan Souls and Shadow of the Colossus with the one, the only Ruby Heart. Before we get started here, y'all, we have a few announcements here on behalf of Games Done Quick. Now, you may all know a little something about this GDQ thing coming up soon. You know, Ruby may also know about that. We'll talk about that in a little while here. But Awesome Games Done Quick 2024 does start this weekend, Sunday, January 14th. Come for a week of runs broadcast live from Pittsburgh, PA, benefiting the Prevent Cancer Foundation. Join us February 17th and 18th for a celebration of Black speedrunning talent and Black joy, because unapologetically Black and Fast is back. Use the command !UBAF in chat for more info. And one more exciting event coming up. GDQ's next all women and femme speedrunning event, Frost Fatale, is coming up March 3rd through the 10th. The schedule's now out. Use !FF in Twitch chat to learn more. And with that being said, Ruby, how are you doing? It is so fantastic to meet you. We've been talking before in the pre-chat how we were just kind of two ships passing in the night. There's a lot of us who know of each other, but we never get a chance to really meet up and talk as much as we'd like to. So again, Ruby, welcome. It's so wonderful to have you here.
It's great to be here. And yeah, I saw you. I was introduced to you online through your Mario Shuffler and lost my mind because it is so cool and so good. So I'm really happy to be here, and all of those things you're talking about, AGDQ and Frost Fatales, I wouldn't know anything about any of those. Not at all.
Oh no, not in the slightest. So Ruby,
slightest.
To give y'all perspective really quickly before we dive deep into the gaming, which I know y'all are here for, we love gaming, Ruby has done so much here for Games Done Quick, and I just want to extend a personal thank you for everything that you've done throughout all of the events. Just, we cannot do it without folks like you, so thank you so much again.
You didn't tell me you were gonna make me cry within the first 5 minutes, and that's rude. You should warn people first. Thank you so much. Honestly, it's a joy and an honor to work with GDQ, starting as a fan and someone who did charity work outside, and then getting involved. It's a dream come true, getting to work with people who I now consider friends, or who I really look up to as entertainers and speedrunners, and I now get to call them peers and interview them and get to know them and play these awesome games. It's a dream come true, but you know this. You also work here, so yeah, I love working here. It's great.
Yeah, I didn't even think about the fact that I'm the one interviewing you, and you are going to be the one interviewing runners and staff and all sorts of, again, there's so much going on behind the scenes at GDQ, so yeah, that's going to be super exciting. And again, as soon as we get done, we dive into the run, I will be posting Ruby's Twitch link in chat. You all better give them a follow. I mean it. I'm going to keep an eye on y'all. So let's get into the games here a little bit. Let's get into the games here. So tonight we are going to be having Titan Souls, a game I've actually never seen before. I'm really excited. That one's going to be up first. And then, of course, the wonderful Shadow of the Colossus. Who hasn't seen that work of art before? But we'll start here with Titan Souls. So what is your familiarity with Titan Souls, and what inspired you to get into speedrunning it?
Yeah, so actually Titan Souls was one that I discovered way after Shadow. Shadow was my first speedrun game. I raced it with friends in college, loved it. And as I started branching out more and going, wait, okay, I want this run, and maybe that one, and that one. Now I've just become the dice goblin, but instead of collecting D&D dice, I'm just going, oh, I want all the pretty speed runs. And this game was pitched to me as, hey, Ruby, did you ever want Dark Souls meets Shadow of the Colossus in 2D? And I went, sold, give it. Where is it? I want it right now. So that is Titan Souls, essentially. The thing I find really cool about this game is it has a very similar kind of atmosphere with Shadow, and you can tell when you walk around the world that it was inspired by that. Now, I'll get more into that once we're playing the game, but every single time I fight a boss, I'm just gonna show you one thing for perspective at some point, and that is when you finally go into a fight for the first time, enemies will insta-kill you. If they hit you, you have 1 hit point, singular hit point, and enemies move very fast in this game. So it's a lot.
One hit KO, isn't that the 2D way? Going way back, the one hit KO game I used to play every now and then was Yo Noid, and yeah, like anything touches you, you're just done. So I can understand it being stressful. So is there like a good way to like save in this game, unlike that one? Like, do you have any safety strats or something that's going to help you defeat the timer in this first run?
Yeah, absolutely. So there are some little, once we actually get into the gameplay screen, I can show you, there are little pads that you'll see on the ground that will kind of glow. You'll hear a little boom sound as soon as I roll over it. And that's a checkpoint. So something that you'll see me use a lot in Titan Souls is like getting a checkpoint in an area, then avoiding certain others. That way I can intentionally die after beating a few bosses and get teleported back to that checkpoint. So kind of very quickly moving around the map using them. There are a few that I usually don't grab when I'm trying to full speed run it, but both of these games I haven't intensely practiced in like 3 or 4 months. So we'll see how it goes.
Well, I have good news for you. This is the place to be if you're rusty at video games.
hey, then you found the right person, Sky.
We'll talk way more about Shadow later. I know you're probably feeling a little bit nervous, which, by the way, again, I want to thank Ruby for being here. It's so hard to be in the hot seat before Mercy Kill. I promise I'll make your stay here enjoyable, perhaps even comical. But I believe in you, Ruby. Let's get this started here. I'm super excited to see just everything you have to offer. I'm excited to see Titan Souls as well. Never seen the game before. So on your account, Ruby, let's do it.
Awesome. Okay, so I did restart a new file, and I'm using truth translated text, which you don't get until you beat it the first time, just because, like, you can actually see the names of the bosses then. So we are going to start in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck. Have fun.
Thank you. Okay, so, oh god. I feel like I've done commentary for these games so much. Just, if you have questions about anything, ask about the lore, about the mechanics, because I know you said this is your first exposure, period, to this game.
Yeah, so I guess my first question is like, maybe it's my old eyes or something, but I'm like squinting to see the character here. Like, is that ever an issue for you to like figure out on the screen, okay, where is my character in all this? Or does it get a little easier to find it in time?
I'm gonna be completely honest, I have never had that as an issue because the monitor I use, but it's only because the monitor I use to play this game in Shadow is like ridiculously big. Ridiculously big specifically for speedrunning. So I can see the character very easily, but that's because I'm very close to a very big television. If it's much smaller on your screen, I can understand that being an issue.
Gotcha. And now we have found the origin story of the blue bouncing jello disc circle things from Super Mario World in the ghost house.
Yes.
So there it is.
They actually came from this is rude and a crime, sir. So this game, a lot of there's something important that you should know. This first boss is my first boss in the entire game. So I might spend a few minutes here and then fly through the rest. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Like,
well, that's a tough one to do first too, because you know you're starting this. You have a little bit of nerves at the beginning, so it seems like this is going to be a little bit of an icebreaker for you, which is always good. But it also comes with its own set of difficulties.
Yeah, and the main reason for that is just a lot of the other bosses. If you make sure you're in the right place at the right time and know the timing, you can get it every time, no problem. This boss is super weird timing and RNG that you cannot predict. So
a couple questions here in chat. By the way, why is it counting down? Because this is Mercy's Kill. We count down on the show. You'll see everything at GDQ. Everything will count up. We count down here. Why? Because it creates that dramatic flair. Once the timer's done, so is the run. Regardless, we are all going to cheer Ruby on, though. I have faith.
Hopefully, but that's two down, and there are 19 bosses total, and we're killing all of them because I'm an insane person. It's fine.
You got this.
Thank you. Yeah, and if you see any other questions show up in chat, please feel free to read them. That boss, so there are a lot of bosses in this game that are really nice because the main strat for them is just roll into room, wait to pull arrow. Oh, well, nope, just kill me. Just take me. That's fine. That's also okay there. I'll explain what I did wrong there in a second. But there are a lot of bosses where sometimes you can just like shoot an arrow, wait a second or two, pull the arrow, and then the fight's over. A majority of these fights, if I do them well, are less than 15, so...
So perhaps this will help out a little bit. When you get a chance, the chat would like to know about the lore of this game. What is exactly going on in it?
Yeah, so there's basically no text in this game, with the exception of one character we'll run into later, and I'll get into that once we meet that character. But the general thing that you know is you have come to this place that has titans and beings of power and essentially gods. The beings that made everything living and this world that you're in. And apparently by killing several of them and literally giving up your soul, you can get this special arrow that lets you use power and gain knowledge, truth, etc. So basically what you find out through the course of the game is you gave up your soul to get this arrow and are trying to get the power of the gods.
Wow.
Yeah! So, in Shadow, one of the big things that people say about it is it's very tragically a game where the protagonist was trying to do the right thing, but actually does something really, really evil. In this, there is no remorse. It's just, yes, give power. So that's what I'm doing every time that big, like, flash of light bursts. That is me sucking the souls out of those titans and consuming it. It's great. This is how we get power. It seems to be a trend with many games like this.
Now, speaking of lore, I feel like I'm missing something here based on something from the audience. So we have a question of how is that VR run coming along? I feel like I'm missing something here, but I would love to know about it.
Oh, yeah. So I like I said, I've now been trying to learn more and more runs. So I commentated David TKI's run of Super Hot VR at SGDQ this year. And it was a blast. Zik and I were both absolutely obsessed. And I told David, if I get my hands on a VR system, I'm running this point blank. And my partner and I actually split the cost of one for Christmas. So I'm now learning Super Hot VR. And it's great cardio, but oh my god, you sweat so much playing that game.
I can only imagine. I'm gonna have to see that at some point. In addition, it kind of reminds me of the way people talk about the Ring Fit run, because I've seen that a couple times over now, and I'm just like, I would not be doing well by the end of that.
Yeah. No, the Ring Fit, I feel like doing the like 500 of the like ring curls or whatever it's called at the very beginning would destroy me. I would get absolutely wrecked. Like, I can only imagine how ripped you would be after running that game for months.
Oh yeah, definitely. A quick question here from me. That timer at the bottom of the screen, is that, does it time your run for you?
Yeah, but it's not a very accurate in-game timer, so a lot of times people will keep it up mainly as a general indicator, so they know, like, kind of where they're at. Ah!
Oh my.
Nothing happened.
No, I didn't see a thing. I didn't
see what?
That? Nope.
What?
It's gone. It has been deleted.
It's fine. Everything's fine. Jeez, I knew this was gonna be rusty. I didn't realize it was gonna be this rusty.
That's half the fun, I assure you.
Yeah.
That's part of the experience here. There are zero expectations other than to have a good time, and let us know about your experiences with the game.
Honestly, I'm having a blast. And yeah, this was a run that, like, I've basically gotten to the point of any time I pick up a run, I then have many friends who have the same taste in speedruns I do, and I'll go, hey buddy, listen, I got a new speedrun for you. You like Shadow? It's called Titan Souls, and then just keep feeding them more and more runs.
Yeah.
And a lot of my friends do the same thing with me. So I recently played Control. One of my friends is the world record holder for the console version, and now I want to run Control. So it's fine. So yeah, that's where the VR thing comes from, is I'm running super hot at some point, hopefully.
Gotcha. When do you stream so folks know where to catch you? I've been posting a link to your Twitch stream throughout, but if someone were to want to catch a live stream, how might they go about it?
Absolutely. So you can find me on twitch.tv/rubyheart. I stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. And I stream on Saturdays and Sundays at 11 a.m. A lot of those streams are mostly speedruns, but I do also do Let's Plays of like games that I've started and never had the chance to beat before. So I just finished the main campaign of Cult of the Lamb. And I'm probably gonna play the expansion DLC content that they're adding once I get back from GDQ. So yeah, but I've played all sorts of stuff there and it's a blast. I speedrun at this point, I want to say at no, just take me. That's fine. That I didn't do anything there that I was supposed to do according to the speedrun strat because I got distracted talking about things in life. But yeah, I'm an actor who sometimes knows how to act and speak words when I'm not trying to beat Lord Elhanan at the same time.
Hey, if you need some serious time, let us know. We'll let you have that if you need it.
Honestly, it's more funny than anything else. Like, this is a game that I love, but if you do things wrong, it can also absolutely wreck you, and the game is repeatedly telling me, hey, Ruby, get good. Stop. No. And that's just giving me notes on how I can improve once I come back to it, you know?
I feel that I tend to play a lot of games that are just like, if you fall off cue, it's not good. It's not good in the slightest.
Yeah, for this one you have a pretty easy reset. If it was one where I didn't have a good checkpoint to reset at anywhere close by, I would have issues. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so basically for that one, you line up okay. So something I haven't talked about in this run at all, and you can't see it, but 70 to 80% of the shots and the angles for running in this speed run rely on the D-pad for specificity. So during my Fatales run, the horror story that happened there is my game glitched, and sometimes that will cause your D-pad to freeze and not function.
Oh.
So that happened, and I was having to improvise all my angles with the analog stick, which was interesting. So we're not getting that, but a lot of what I'm doing for some of these arrow shots is just like aiming with the D-pad, which is really interesting.
An analog stick on a 2D game. Oh, is this supposed to be like a mimic?
Yes, and this is actually a fun fact. So the studio that made this, have you played Death's Door?
I've heard about it, but I have not played it.
Oh, it's really good if you ever get the chance, but I know all of us have ever-expanding lists of games we need to play. But if you ever get the chance, this is made by the same studio that made Death's Door, which is also a brilliant game. And they do a lot of spiritual successor things. So a few of the bosses in this game show up in slightly different forms. That was so good! Sorry, if you roll at a very specific part at the top of the staircase, you can double roll and your character just goes all the way down without you having to do a second input. It's not super important. It saves like half a second, but it's nice when you get it. And that just made me happy.
No, that's awesome. We celebrate those.
Yeah! Oh my gosh, a few bosses that actually I just instantly got. What's happening?
I mean,
this is great.
I mean, you're getting more experience with the controls in the game again, right? That tends to happen.
Getting better at the game as you go, you'd hope.
Yes.
Yeah.
We've seen that effect.
Though seeing that I have like 12 minutes left on the timer makes me very concerned because we still have a few areas to go. Hopefully we'll see what happens. Oh God. We are headed towards, oh, this is actually the one character that gives dialogue. So, fun fact, the first time that you talk to him, he says different things. This time, you have a little more information than the first time, so he talks to you a little more directly. It's great. So if you want the lore, he says, I was the first life, the first soul born from truth. And from I came the first of you. I feel like you have to do an old man voice, right? And now we come full circle. The maker is unmade. God, if I had a voice mod, I could really sell it. And one day you will fall to the same fate. Oh, do what you must. Cool. Thank you. So yeah, he says different things the first time, just saying, oh, you've paid a grave price for that arrow. Huh. What did you come here seeking? Knowledge, truth, power? And this time he addresses you more frankly, like, all right, well, if you're gonna kill all of us, you know, I make you, so someone's gonna come kill you next. Like, it's fine. It's a cycle. Dang. Yeah, like, this game, if you look into the lore, it is beautiful and dark and wild and fascinating. And that's what I love about Shadow and Titan Souls. The more you look into them, the more there is. You just kind of have to know where to look, yeah.
This is really cute.
I'm glad
like the art
like
and everything. It. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of really good 2D pixel art. That's like a lot of the aesthetic on my Twitch stream, honestly. So like, there's a particular charm to playing games like this that have really, really beautiful pixel art. I feel the same way about, oh gosh, Hyper Light Drifter. I'm very excited for Hyper Light Breaker because Drifter had beautiful pixel art. As a precaution, we are going to take this checkpoint because it is a very far distance to get back to this place, and I do not want to travel all that way, considering we are running low on time.
I applaud you for taking checkpoints. Thank you. You make me feel a little less sweaty and intense about it. Someone be like, "Oh, just skip the checkpoint." I'm like, "No, you go back and get that."
No, I'm listen, this is the boss. This particular boss is the one that if I don't get the checkpoint, I die. When I do get the checkpoint, it goes beautifully. Oh, whoops. Oh god. Hang on.
I don't know what happened. I'm
sorry.
waiting to...
I spilled some tea on my keyboard. Hang on. Okay. We're going. I just needed to very quickly dry something off. We're good.
You're good.
Okay. Where am I? What's next? Oh, this guy. Right. I did not do what I was supposed to do. If you could just kill me so I could reset that cycle, that'd be great.
Did you hit the wrong like activation point for the boss or something?
Yes. So basically, there's a particular place you not only want to start, but you want to hit a arrow on a diagonal shot, roll out of the way, and then pull the... That was rude! Usually pull the arrow back and it goes in that little box in his back.
Yeah.
So it's a very narrow shot, and if you hit just ever so slightly the wrong part of the wall or the arrow isn't quite in the right spot, he'll shift his position like you saw a second ago. And what I was hoping to do was basically pull the arrow just late enough that as I was pulling it, that geyser would be going, and I would also get killed while pulling the soul, because then it cancels out the cutscene of the travel and sends you straight back to the checkpoint. There's one other place that I do it a lot more consistently successfully, so you'll be able to see it on a different boss, but didn't quite get the death warp there.
This
Okay.
is from Richard. Richard said,
Yes.
I was talking to a friend about spilling wine all over my keyboard yesterday. I feel like I cursed Ruby.
It's okay. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, drink. Okay, you might be wondering why I was singing "See a Chandelier," and that's a great question.
I mean, it worked.
I love not telling literally anyone about that trick until it's there and then do it. Yeah, so not joking, if you wait and then on the drink just shoot the arrow towards the bottom wall, it reflects off and hits the eye at exactly the right moment.
I mean, it worked.
Yep, you have to do it in tempo, but when you do it right, it works. So I'm not gonna question it.
By the way, I can tell chat is just absolutely loving your energy right now. Remember, folks, Ruby will be on for a much longer run after this. This is just the warm-up for the show, so thank you all so much for showing your support for Ruby. We appreciate that. And again, please give them a follow. For folks watching on YouTube who cannot see the chat, that is twitch.tv/RubyHeart, RUBIEHART.
You are the actual best, Sky. Thank you so much.
Of course.
And I'm gonna take this safety while we're here. Okay, so this next one is where we'll probably see the actual death work if I do it right. Fingers crossed.
I'm crossing them for you, all right? Let's
Please.
do this.
Please do.
Chat, you gotta do your job too. Everybody cross their fingers. I'm blaming one of y'all if this don't work.
4, 5, 6. Okay, so basically on that, I quickly swim upward, shoot the arrow at a specific angle, pull so it hits the tail, and then die, and then I go back to the checkpoint I was at, and it warps me. So I skip the death cutscene, and I'm right back to where I was.
Very cool. And you get to keep your progress there?
Yeah, so it still counts the bosses killed because you technically fully pulled the soul and activated that cutscene.
Anybody else just blinking and missing? Like, literally, I'll blink and some of these bosses are dead. It's really impressive.
Yeah, in Shadow of the Colossus, the boss fights are between, like, 45 seconds or, like, 30 seconds and 2.5 minutes. In this one, when I said that most of them are between, like, 5 and 20 seconds, I was not joking. Like, a lot of them, if you look away, the boss will be done when you look back.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, like, including the travel time, too, because... Oh, God, this game is just wild. It's wild to me.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, also, one thing that I want you to keep in mind is this game not only has a bunch of bosses that they reference in Death's Door, but that boss that I just beat a little bit ago, Hydrus, the, like, electric eel boss, there is a boss that is identical to it in Shadow of the Colossus. Literally identical.
I see what they did there.
Uh-huh. Yep. A lot of us see what they did there, because if you played this one first, then everyone who played Titan Souls first calls the boss in Shadow Enemeies, and everyone who played Shadow first calls it Hydrus. It just depends on which one you started with.
See, I have a completely different association with the name Onyxia. That's a dragon in World of Warcraft.
Oh, interesting. Okay,
Yep.
okay. Okay, that's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm thinking of, like, how many other dragon bosses I know from video games that have Gia at the end. So Volvagia, or Volvagia from, like, the Legend of Zelda series. I feel like there are so many others. Pelagia, or Pelagia, is actually what we call the 12th boss in Shadow. So we'll see those in a bit here, but I have 3 minutes and I'm on my final 3 bosses. So
Go! You got this! Do the thing!
I hope I can make it! I hope I can make it!
I know you can. I'm sending all of the energy your way, Ruby.
Thank you! Thank you! Meh. Also, I just saw that... I'm just gonna say that I saw a few of my best friends are hanging out. So, hi Jade. Hi everyone. Good to see you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Y'all are great. Thank you for being here for Ruby, y'all. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely, and same. Oh gosh. Now, I know that a lot of the speedruns I've seen you do are more classic games or Super Mario games, but when it comes to a, like, precision arrow puzzle platformer like this, would you ever consider a game like it?
Sure, why not? Also 2 minutes, not to make you nervous, but I just want to make sure. I mean, I'll never not say no to things like that. That seems pretty neat. I've actually been back into Castlevania games lately.
Oh, nice!
I should say classic Vania, to be more specific. Alright, come on, chat. Give Ruby your energy. You can do it!
Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. I don't think I'm gonna make it. I don't think I'm gonna make it.
Well, do as much as you can. How about that? Just, let's see how far you can get.
Yeah, I'm good with that. No! Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
Oh my gosh! I'm on the edge of my seat! Ah!
This boss is so bad!
I have no more seat left behind my butt, Ruby. Oh my gosh! Go, go, go!
Oh no!
60 seconds! No!
I hate it! I hate it! I hate it! I hate it!
Just defeat this boss, Ruby. Just do it. You can do that in 60. I know you can.
I just need to redeem myself here, please.
Go, go, go!
Yes!
Go fast!
I'm trying! I'm trying! I'm trying! You have to get out of this thing! You have to get out of the... Please! Please! Thank you! 2 more bosses.
Hey!
That's time, isn't it?
Oh, Richard, yeah, 20 seconds. That's okay. You still defeat this boss. Remember, personal victories. Those are always good.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, for like 3 or 4 months out of practice, I still don't think this is too bad. Like, ugh.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right.
That's okay. Everybody, let's hear from Ruby still. I know you didn't beat the timer there, but my gosh, that was intense. That was fun. That had everything I wanted a Mercy Kill run to be. Ruby, you may have not beaten the timer, but I believe you've won over the hearts of chat, and that's what matters here.
I really appreciate that. Thank you all so much. And I have another game to hopefully redeem myself, and I had 2 bosses left to go in this game. Hopefully we'll make it to 1 boss or no bosses left. That's the goal for next game.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm willing to bet it would be 1 more boss if it wasn't for the tea spill. I would give an extra boss in spirit for the tea spill. How about that? So you had 1 boss left. How about that? We'll mark it as that.
I'm still looking at some of these last drops. I think that the keyboard is gonna be okay, but it seems like it's fine. But I needed to take care of at least some of it in the moment. So it's okay losing 1 boss to that.
And it's okay! The keyboard, I mean.
Yeah, it's okay! Oh, God. Well, hey, thank you so much for having me on. Should we switch over to the other game?
We will in a second here. I just want to, again, I want to thank you. That was such an intense run. I'm very thankful that you introduced me to that game. I'm going to have to give that one a whirl at some point. That one looks like a lot of fun. I do want to read a couple announcements here on behalf of Games Done Quick before we do shift again. Please, we are going to be taking a break in a second. You do not, and I repeat, you do not want to miss the Shadow of the Colossus run, all right? So real quick before we go on break here, remember that your subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, and bits share on the GDQ Twitch channel help support Games Done Quick Hotfix. If you enjoy watching Speedruns daily, consider subscribing to the channel. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, hello, wonderful to see y'all. Follow Ruby. Be sure to press the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel. Also, go to twitch.tv/GamesDoneQuick to watch our shows live. And with that being said, everyone be sure to stretch, hydrate. We'll be right back with Ruby and Mercy Kill.
Bye!
Welcome back to Mercy Kill. We are joined here by Ruby Hart, and this is Shadow of the Colossus. And I believe this is any percent normal. Disregard the social media posts that I accidentally swapped the categories. But
it's okay. They're both big boss games. That's what matters. You got the hard thing.
This game I'm absolutely enamored with. Is there anything you'd like to say before we get started? Anything about your experience with the game, some strategies you may take to help beat the timer here? The floor is yours.
Honestly, I was gonna say there's downtime enough in Shadow that I feel like we'll have plenty of time as we go to Colossus, so we can talk about it as I jump in. So let's just go.
Let's do it.
Let's just go.
On your count.
All right, we are starting the timer as soon as I select normal, so that'll be in 3, 2, 1, go. Basically in Shadow of the Colossus, a few things to keep in mind. One, even though we're counting down for mercy kill's sake, and that is amazing, the real timer I gave is based on how much time it actually takes to beat, but that isn't what was really on like the chart. So the thing that I'm actually going to be focusing on, why am I getting tutorials? Why are my settings borked? I don't need these things. I do not need help. Anyway. I don't know.
Okay, that's fine. I just want to make sure we were good to go here. Okay, cool.
Oh yeah, no, that was just honestly really funny. So basically, the only thing that really affects is there's one little cutscene that will show up just saying, "Hey, did you know you could save at this thing if you kneel in front of it?" That's the only thing Dorman hints to. Otherwise, it's just if you take too long in a boss fight, the god that talks to you throughout will be like, "Hey, did you know that you could try this?" And it gives you hints. And for speedrunners, that's really annoying because it's basically Dorman saying, "Hey, you didn't do it fast enough. Maybe you need a clue."
Oh no.
Yeah, for Shadow of the Colossus, it's not, much like Titan Souls, a lot of it is about really specific inputs, angles, grabs, and then in this one specifically because it's a 3D game, not 2D, there's also a lot of like physics manipulation, weird jumping off of ledges like I'm trying to do here. Something we call magnet hands, where like if you get close to a thing, sometimes you shouldn't actually be able to grab it, but the game will be like, it's close enough, we're just gonna bop you close enough to it to grab it. So little things like that help. So for this boss, basically, you hit the angle twice. If I do this right, I will grab onto the face. Yeah! Okay, good. If you land too low on this one, it can cause a lot of problems, but I landed high enough up that I'm not super concerned. Another thing you'll see me utilizing quite a bit is, if you notice, there are some times where the Colossus will shake their head, but like, Wander doesn't move. That's the main character of Wander. Then that's because I'm in what's called a plant. So I've grabbed a very small point on the Colossus where like, no matter how much they shake, unless they turn directly upside down, they cannot throw me. So yeah, that's a synopsis of how this run's gonna go. Any questions?
Well, I just want to let you know that this means a lot to me that you're playing this on Mercy Kill in particular, because, y'all, I met Ruby through the hosting audition, which Ruby was playing Shadow of the Colossus during that. So I kind of felt like I met Ruby through that, as odd as that sounds, so it's really cool seeing this in real time.
Yeah, and I'm so happy to show off the run, because I know for the hosting audition, it was just like a tiny little snippet. It was really only the first like 2 bosses in Boss Rush, right? Something like that?
Yep. Yeah.
I still think that was the funniest and most ridiculous audition of my life. So I told this story on, I'm on a podcast called Need for Speedrunning with Hobbs and Luigi and Brad, who are all absolutely amazing humans just in general, and are members of the community. But basically that time I was asked to do the tape, and usually they ask someone who was in the previous Games Done Quick to record the audition tape for host for the next one. So they asked me to do Shadow, and I knew that I wanted to host because I wanted to get more involved with GDQ, but my brain didn't connect that I would have to audition with myself until I got the email from Prolix saying, "Hey, here's everything to do for your audition. You'll be auditioning with Ruby Hart playing Shadow of the Colossus." And I was like, oh no, it's ridiculous. And it took me a few hours to record just because I was laughing so
Oh
much.
yeah.
Like, it was great. It was so funny. Yeah, funniest and most fun audition of my life, probably. So, yeah, I'm glad that's the one you got to see, honestly.
Oh yeah, definitely. No, I had a fun time with it. You know, if it was one of those, like, you know, we had so many takes of it and stuff. Nowadays it's a little different than that, but like back then you could do as many takes as you wanted to. And honestly, I didn't mind. The music was great. The energy was high key. I remember you were encouraging hosts, and I remember, like, after so many takes, I'm like, I don't like this process. And then you were like, I believe in you, host. And I'm like, you know what? You're right, Brittany.
Well, I remember, like, so, basically every run that I've run at a major GDQ is hard to commentate, so Shadow of the Colossus boss rush, there's not much room to work in donations in between commentary and the bosses themselves. And same with Overcooked, because in Overcooked, you are coordinating with your team as if you are in a professional Michelin star kitchen and yelling at each other like crazy to get orders out. The Kyle Thomas has been the host for both of the runs I have done and has been so great about it. So now anytime that I hear a host, I'm just like, you go host. Yes, because I know how much work goes into hosting and how nerve-wracking it can be, how many things they juggle. Like, if you haven't been a host yourself, you have no idea the work that goes into it, or just volunteering in general. Like you said earlier, Sky, like anyone who gets involved with GDQ, you have no idea how much they do behind the scenes, and so many of them are amazing. So anyway, I'm just bragging about the community. Y'all are amazing.
There's nothing wrong with that. Again, we couldn't have any of this if it wasn't for the community helping out. So absolutely.
Exactly. Yeah, 100%. And I'm just really excited to go to AGDQ in a few days. Oh no. I just realized something.
What?
I'm on Mercy Kill, and I'm headed towards one of the hardest tricks in the game.
We'll just keep you distracted
like
from it. Don't worry.
Yeah, like, please, play 20 questions with me, or, like, literally ask me anything. This is an AMA with Ruby to keep me distracted so I don't panic.
There you go. Yeah, just kind of, you know, you have just like that knowledge of what to do. Sometimes thinking too much into it is what makes it more difficult. So that's why I'm going to do this. So
muscle memory really helps sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. So I remember you did a run of this at Fatal, didn't you? You did a random boss order. I remember explicitly seeing that run.
Yeah, so I've actually done Shadow twice on Fatals. The very first marathon I did back in like 2020 was Fleet Fatals, but I did any percent normal, so this category actually. And that's how I met Court for the first time, and that was the first anything marathon I did, let alone like the fact that it was GDQ. What the heck? But it was amazing. Then the second time, it was that run, I did Boss Rush Random, and two of my best friends, Nyx and Jade, were my commentators, and people donated and redeemed for me to dress formal, and I wore the suit. I remember that. Yeah.
That was a fun run. Questions from chat here. They saw this as an opportunity to AMA with you. So, best movie based on a video game.
Oh my god, there finally was a, okay, can I not say movie, but TV series, because Last of Us is the first one that I actually have gone, oh my god. This not only takes what was already incredible storytelling video game and actually does justice to it, but it takes liberties and makes it better. Like, there are very few stories that I've seen do that. I feel that way about Tangled, like taking the myth of Rapunzel and elevating it, and I feel that way about Last of Us. So, yeah. 10 out of 10.
Very cool.
All right, next question.
What is your favorite pasta?
Ooh. I really like good, like, carbonara or fettuccine alfredo.
Ooh, yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, like, very much my style. Yeah.
My answer to that would be just fresh. I've become a little bit of a food snob in the sense of if I have access to fresh pasta, I'm doing it because I heckin' love fresh pasta.
Yes, I feel that way about oh gosh, I love putting together charcuterie boards, so I feel that way about if you're gonna get like a good cheese.
Yes.
You get a good cheese, you get a good brie, you get a good Asiago.
Oh yeah.
But that's like one of the few things I splurge on when I like have the money to splurge, you know? It's like, no, my partner and I, we're gonna have a good charcuterie plate. That's gonna be great.
That does sound good. Yeah, we have a place near us.
Sky, how did that work?
How? Because you're a gamer. That's why. Because you're good at what you do. See? The distraction. It works well.
Well, that's Gaia's launch. I love how a majority of this night, I haven't been explaining anything I'm actually doing. It's just us hanging out while I play the game. But the more we distract, the more it's helping. So thank you.
Yeah. No, all of my shows, I mean, you know, every now and then, don't get me wrong, we have formal commentary, but I just like hanging out with runners. I mean, if you want to talk about something in the game, that's cool, but I feel like we miss out during events, which is understandable. You know, we're trying to tell people about strats. It's for a much broader audience. Please hang in there, Ruby. But anyway.
No, I did it. I saved it.
Oh!
Okay. Oh my God, I could not breathe for a minute, Sky. Oh. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, guys, no. I did a very... He has thrown me off when I accidentally ended up in that particular placement. So what I was trying to do there, you can like get to the head and drop really, really nicely down to the belly, and then just start stabbing. Mm-hmm. But if you get on the chest plate instead, sometimes he just throws you off or you run out of grip. So that's why I started panicking in the middle.
That's okay. Oh, God. You did great.
Yeah, in the middle of you saying, I just love talking to runners, I was sitting here in panic. But yes, talking to other runners who love the hobby, who love the profession, who love games, it's pretty great.
We were talking in the pre-show, Ruby couldn't believe I'd been doing all this for 10 years, you know, between either hosting or streaming or anything like that. I'm like, it has certainly been a ride.
I will say, I can't say anything, but we have put a lot of work into the pre-show, and I'm very excited about it, and I hope that others are excited too. It should be a really good time. It should be a really good time. And just in general, there's a lot of really great stuff planned for the week, and like, have you been freaking out about the schedule as much as I have?
I will tell you this much. I am very biased to a runner with 4 legs and a tail. Peanut butter. I love dogs. Yes.
Peanut butter is so good, and the fact that his nickname is PB, I can't handle it. Oh God, I'm pretty sure that there's like an interview with Peanut Butter coming up too.
Oh my gosh!
It's gonna be so good.
I know.
So good. I can't wait.
I am going.
Peanut Butter.
What? What?
No, please.
I just want to tell Peanut Butter through social media how much of a good boy he is. That's all.
He's a heckin' good boy, but I feel like JSR probably tells him constantly. He seems like he knows he's a very good boy.
I should do a short where I'm just like, oh, he's a good boy, just like in response to him playing.
God, I'm very sad that PB can't come, but also like I completely understand. If y'all haven't looked this up, look up Peanut Butter, the speedrunning dog, who is going to be running Gyromite at AGDQ. If you haven't heard about this, yes, a dog is running at AGDQ. He is a little Shiba Inu, and he is so cute.
I love dogs so much. So yes, I can't help it. I'm a little biased, you know. I love animals, period. So that is going to be one of my favorite runners. Of course, JSR running Castlevania 3 as well as a fellow Castlevania runner. Very excited for that run. But yeah, I mean, the schedule is pretty awesome. Oh my gosh, Aggro, no! We gotta save the animal! No!
I'm trying. I missed the jump. This is kind of a nightmare to recover if you don't get it, but let's see. hang on.
No, we need to get revenge for aggro. Nobody does that to a horse.
Hang on.
No.
Yeah, it's kind of rude, right?
Hmm.
Okay. You, thank you. Thank you. Much better.
There you go.
Ma'am. Thank you.
Now I'm thinking of Fatal because you said man.
No, so here's the thing, right? Like, if you see me on a, like, big GDQ where I'm doing full commentary, I usually am explaining every single thing I'm doing. Honestly, the fact that I'm getting to casually hang out with you is really nice, because sometimes I talk about that, sometimes we just talk about games in general and how fun they are, and other times I just get to do what I normally do when I practice the game, which is just letting the inner gremlin out and shouting babe and ma'am at them when they don't do what I want.
I love that, but like I said, that's part of the experience here. We're not super formal here. We just go with whatever the vibe of the stream is, and a lot of the time, sometimes that's talking about favorite cheeses, or favorite foods, or good, puppers. I mean, we talk about all kinds of things here.
Yeah. Well, this one, okay, so actually, Sky, I'd be very curious to hear your opinion. Yeah. Everyone who I've talked to thinks that this is a different animal. I called it a horse. I've heard people call it a dragon, a spider, a giraffe.
Wait, a spider?
Because of, like, the legs, I think.
I don't see that.
What do you think? What do you think?
It almost looks like a hybrid between, like, a horse and a bug, but not a spider. Not a spider.
Interesting. A bug.
It's like a bug horse, almost. Maybe a beetle. Maybe, like, a beetle.
Oh, that would track.
Yeah.
That actually does track to me. I could buy that. I could buy that. Also, weirdly, it's making me crave crab, because now I'm just thinking about little crab legs.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God. I didn't... Usually, Overcooked is the only speedrun that makes me hungry, but I guess this is my body telling me I'm hungry.
Oh, Gazelle's really good. Mantis is good. This is what chat's saying right now.
Ooh, I've heard gazelle before.
Yeah.
Mantis, hyena, giraffe. Okay, very interesting hot take. Love that.
I like the gazelle. The gazelle makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, I buy that. I would absolutely buy that. It's a chicken horse. I'm just thinking about the video game Ultimate Chicken Horse. That is a game, right? I've heard of this. I feel like I need to play it at some point. Oh gosh, okay. Have I mentioned that I'm appreciating the conversation because it's distracting me from very scary bosses?
Yeah.
Because the next one may or may not be a very scary boss.
Again, just go with the muscle memory. I'm telling you, for things that do appear to be scary,
Yeah.
especially Rusty, just trust in, you've done this before, you've done this on enormous stages before. This nothing. This just us hanging out.
Yeah. So when did you... Okay, question for you, because story time sharing. When did you do your first speed run? Just ever. I know we talked about, like, how long you've been streaming a little bit ago, but did you start with speed run?
I did. Yeah.
Or... Okay, cool. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I did a lot of Mario 3 and SNES Star Fox when I started out.
Okay, got it. This was my very first game in the timeline. Titan Souls, I want to say, was like maybe between the second and fourth.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty close after, when I was like, okay, maybe I'll learn another Giant Slayer game or two. So I added like this and Solar Ash. And then I randomly added Phasmophobia and Overcooked and threw all rules out the window. So, here we are. Now I just speedrun a bunch of really fun co-op games with friends and, like, a lot of Team 17, honestly, because we're learning Moving Out too right now. And then a lot of boss rush games.
I know Author Blues and I are looking to sharpen up our Adventures of Cookie and Cream at some point, because we'd like to play that at a marathon at some point. Co-op.
Wait, Adventures of Cookie and Cream. I am always looking for more co-op games to play with friends, and I've never heard of this. Please tell me
So
more.
you got to make sure you're on good terms with your friends, because there might be some disputes or two. It's
okay.
It's a puzzle platformer.
Great.
It's a puzzle platformer, and
I'm already in love. Go on.
It's a puzzle platformer about two bunnies that are trying to save the Earth from the moon, essentially. And it's like this very like cartoony thing. And the screen is split, and decisions that are made by one player impact the other player in how they progress through the stage. And you have to collect clocks along the way so you can finish the stage before time expires. Otherwise, you have to start the stage over. So it's a pretty decently long game, too. Like, the speed run of it was around, like, the hour mark or so.
Oh, wow. Okay. That was really good.
That was really good.
Yeah,
Ruby, I'm gonna tell you now.
Wing drop.
You have to believe in yourself more. You are better at the Rusty game than you think. I'm just gonna say you are better at this than you think. You got to give yourself more credit. This is fantastic.
I'm just used to not giving. Listen, as a speedrunner yourself, and then also like as an arts person, I feel like I'm always way too self-critical.
Yeah.
That's just built into my wiring. But yeah, I need to believe in myself more when it comes to this game. I am good.
Well, I'm gonna be cheering you on here because that was a fantastic boss kill. Look at that.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it now. So I had a decent Valis. I had a pretty good Quadratus. I had a really good Gaius. I had to recover on Phaedra, but that ended up being fine. This was beautiful. That's actually a really good start. I'm going to knock on wood. It's a really good start to the run. What?
No, chat, I'm with you. They're gaming. They're gaming so much. My gosh, Ruby, just such impressive gaming talent here.
Thank you. And also, I am regularly trying to recruit people into the cult of speedrunning games I like, because I like making friends in speedrunning. So hey, if you like Shadow of the Colossus or Titan Souls and want to talk about them, or want to speedrun any of the other games you see on my SRC, let's chat. I would love that. There's also Discords and YouTube playlists for a lot of the games I run. Except for Overcooked and Moving Out, there really aren't resources there. But so just please feel free to message me directly if you want to. Okay, and now is an AMA time because we have a while before we're gonna get to the next boss.
Sure, we had some earlier up here. Let me scroll up and see if I can find it.
Yeah.
It was something about notable. Oh, right here. The most meaningful and the most meaningless games you've ever played. I don't know what that means, but that was a question from chat earlier.
Ooh. That is a great question, actually. The most meaningless game. What was the most meaningless game?
Well, what does it mean for a game to be meaningless, chat? Let's ask that question first.
Well, I'm trying to think of a game that just, you know what? Actually, yes. And I'm okay. Are you ready for my hot take?
I'm ready for your hot take. I'm ready.
And I'm hoping my partner isn't watching because this is something we regularly debate about.
Okay. All right.
So, my meaningless game is Dear Esther.
I've never heard of that.
So, it is a walking simulator, and for me, it takes a lot for a walking simulator to be good. So, like, ones that I consider beautiful masterpiece games, Dear Esther, or, I'm sorry, Dear Esther is the one I just said is trash. There's a game called What Remains of Edith Finch. That's the one I meant to reference. That is absolutely gorgeous. It's a masterpiece. And I loved it, and then I was told, hey, if you like that, you should play Dear Esther. That's what it's called. And I remember just going into it, and a lot of the scenery just looks like the same kind of empty beach. And it's this man that's reading something that sounds like someone trying to write poetry who isn't actually that insightful. It doesn't mean anything. It's just meant to sound pretty. And I was like, what is this game? So for me, Dear Esther did nothing for me. But I know, like, my partner loves that game and sings its praises, so I know that everyone's different. But for me, it was an absolute waste of time, and I was like, nope, I actually really don't care about this game.
I got a game for you that is also meaningless. And
yes,
I'm going to say I do not recommend you play this game. You can, but play it at your own risk. I just became like friends with you. I don't want to lose a perfectly good friendship here, but Pears and Grey Witch. Where are my Author Blues fans in chat?
Wait, what's the name?
Pears and Grey Witch. It's the game that says firm belief every time you die. It's such a bad platformer. It's so janky.
Oh my god. That's ridiculous.
The whole game is ridiculous. It absolutely is ridiculous. You're just trying to collect all this fruit, and that's really about it. It's
here, really quick. This is a focus moment, so just look at the screen because if I get it and you blink, you'll miss it.
All right, thank you.
Just really quick. I think I was too late. Yep, I was too late. That's okay. All right, continue conversation as normal.
Okay. I was just talking about this absolutely goofy, nonsensical game. Yes, that's right. Firm belief, chat. But yeah.
God, the most meaningful. I'm trying to think of like games that have gotten me through just a lot, and Shadow is definitely one of those games, but I think I actually have to say Dragon Age Origins.
Okay.
So it was a game that I played at a time of my life that was really, really hard for me, and it like was an absolutely beautiful story. It was exactly what I needed. And there were a few other times in my life when I would return to it and play it a different way, and every time I was just as excited about the new storytelling that I was getting. I'm actually feeling quite that way about Baldur's Gate 3 at the moment as I'm playing it. But there are also so many games I feel like I could add to that list. So like Transistor is another one that the music and the personal significance of that game just transcends. The list goes on. Like, oh god, yes. All right, any other questions from chat? From chat's AMA earlier?
Sure. I just wanted to say that was a really nice recovery on that boss. I know it didn't go as intended at the beginning, but that was a very nice pickup there. So I just wanted to let you know that.
Thank you. Yeah, so there's basically what I was trying to do is there's usually like a cutscene skip where if you skip the cutscene at exactly the right moment, then it, instead of spawning you like further back, it spawns you in the air where you are right in front of his beard and can just grab it and climb straight up. So I like just missed that.
Aww.
But the nice thing is like you don't really lose out on real time waiting for the cutscene, since everything with this game goes by in-game time for the sake of the chart. So yeah.
So this one, this is another question from the chat. What is the hardest part of learning Shadow of the Colossus?
Oh, I would definitely say there are a few tricks that are not quite frame perfect, but close to. I am headed to 7. Oh gosh, I'm headed to Hydrus. So there are a few bosses that have very, very particular tricks. I would say the biggest ones are Gaius, so number 3, that big flip launch that I did. Phaedra, so the horse Colossus, Avion, so the bird, the one I'm going to right now, and then there's one other place where you're gonna hear me say, I hate this boss over and over and over again. So there are a few bosses that will kind of become the bane of your existence, but, the AI manipulations and some of the simpler things are pretty simple to pick up on. So like when I first started, I saved at least a minute of time just because when I played casually, I didn't know if you hold the stab button longer, that saves you time. So yeah. I will say that one thing that's really great about Shadow speedrunning is we are spoiled when it comes to tutorials. So there are like written guides. There are multiple different video tutorials. I'm working on making a video tutorial series with some of the updated tricks this year. And I know that there are a bunch that are really great from other members of the community. So yeah, like the biggest barrier of entry, I would say, is just the boss fights. Some of them that are more frame perfect are really hard. So you just have to be okay with really precise timing. One thing I think is really cool about this run, and Sky, I don't know if you ever find this with any of your runs.
Yeah.
But with this particular game, I find that rehearsing it or like practicing it feels like a rehearsal, because a lot of the things in it are kind of rhythm, like timing based in my head, and that weirdly helps, like putting it to some kind of musical timer.
Sure. Yeah, I see that for sure.
Yeah.
My guess, by the way, for that, I've never run this game. I've only played it like casually a little bit, not throughout the whole game. My guess is any boss fight where you have to start with aggro and you're relying on aggro to do something, that's got to be difficult, because that reminds me of the final boss from Breath of the Wild, where you're like yelling at the horse the whole time. It's like, come on, do something.
Yeah, so it basically, the times where it can be really bad are if what happened to me during the horse fight happens. If I miss that leg, like grabbing onto it for the first time, aggro is great for like using her as a launching board to get to higher places that I couldn't get to otherwise. But if you mess up, she gets really scared and will freak out. And the other thing that is honestly hilarious to me, so there is a joke in the speedrun community that aggro regularly will like kiss grass or just stop to eat grass or stop to eat a tree, because there are some longer bits of grass kind of like this that if you try to like kick back and rear her up to keep running while on top of a piece of grass, she will lose it. She will freak out and not run. So weirdly, forest mapping, the biggest thing, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. I think I completely messed up that timing, but we'll see. I think I messed up that timing. I might play it safe here. I could try. I should try. Nope. Sure wasn't it. But that's okay. You know what? I got the back, so I still get the recovery. So there is a strat you can do doing a bunch of really cool jump stabs in the water. This is another barrier of entry, is this boss. That particular strat is very hard, especially since it's different if you play on 60 frames per second versus 30 frames a second, how that trick works. So that's a whole other thing. Any other questions from chat? I'm honestly really loving the Q&A style, so like hit me.
Sure. I'll see if there's... Oh, is there any particular trick or piece of tech that you consider your favorite? Oh,
yeah, absolutely. So there is a trick in Colossus 15. Argus is the Colossus's name. And it's a tough trick, but if you do it right, it basically looks like you teleport up the Colossus. And it's very funny when people have played the game casually but have never seen a speedrun showing them that trick for the first time. Because the other tricks in the game are really, really cool, but you can still see how Wander got from point A to point B. That trick, if you do it well enough, the character just suddenly is on the boss's head, and hearing people scream at that when they don't understand what's going on and are freaking out in excitement, it brings me so much joy. So you'll see the Argus launch towards the end of the game. We're not going to be there for a bit, but if you are hanging around for Argus when we get there, definitely stick around, because it's a really cool trick. It is a really cool trick.
All right, the next question we have is, which boss would you like to dance with most? That's a unique one.
Interesting. Probably my favorite Colossus. So that is number 14, Zenobia. Zenobia is the little guard dog, the little good guard dog boy that just does a protect of his city. He is very aggressive, but I feel like if we were just dancing and we're there peacefully, he would be an amazing dancer and I would just be sitting there. You know how some people go to parties and then there's that one person that like doesn't talk to anyone at the party, or if they are, it's only because they are petting the animal on the couch.
That's me.
Also, same. I love talking to people, but if there's an animal, that animal is priority at a party.
Yes.
Yeah. That would be me with Zenobia if we were dancing together.
And also, someone wanted to know what brand is the beanie you're wearing. They like your beanie.
Oh, I wish I could tell you, but it's actually a Christmas present from my mom. She got me a few beanies and a really nice sweater, but I'm not sure where they came from because they didn't have gift receipts because my mother knows me well. I'm gonna take a guess because I do know my mom very well. She really loves shopping at J.C. Penney's, and Kohl's and Macy's during their holiday sales. So if you try any of those three stores, chances are or Target. Try any of them. I bet you'll be able to find it.
So,
sorry, I can't give you anything more specific than that, but my mom is lovely, so yeah.
So
shout out to cool moms.
you were talking about Cult of the Lamb earlier, so I assume that's what this question references. What is your favorite animal to have as a cult member?
Oh yeah, probably. I think that the moose, like the elks, anything that has horns, and then the foxes. They have fennec foxes as a skin that you can get. They are so adorable, and when you can put the face paint on them too, those are probably my favorite designs. But there are a lot of really, really good ones that I geek out over every single time that I play the game. If you haven't played it, Sky, it's probably the best video game Twitch integration I've ever used.
Well,
it's a lot of fun.
If there's critters in it, I don't know if anyone's ever seen my social media. It's like 90% animals. Like, I just love posting animals. Backyard animals, possums, deer, racks.
That is okay. So I absolutely follow you on Twitter, and that's mainly why. It's to see the animals, because it's also most of my TikTok page is just like cute critters. Yeah, I totally feel you there.
Oh yeah, and otters. Let's not forget otters.
Yes, otters are so cute.
Yeah, they are.
God. Now I want to go to the zoo. Ugh.
Whenever I go to an aquarium, I don't go to like a whole zoo or aquarium. I go to like the one or two exhibits I must see, and then I just sit there and look at the animal all day.
Honestly, that's the way to do it. Like, I went with a friend who did the exact same thing and wanted to pet a stingray, and we lay there petting stingray for like 2 hours because it was on our bucket list. Like,
wait, stingray? Was it Liz?
Huh?
Was the person who you were petting stingrays with Liz? Because my friend Liz Starr is a very, very, very big fan of stingrays.
Oh, okay. Also adore Liz, but no, actually, different friend.
Gotcha.
But also weirdly, yeah, at a speedrun event, just a different speedrun event.
Gotcha. It just sounded like it matched up so much. I'm like, I have to know this. Also, this poor lizard.
Oh god, I love Liz so much. Hey, shout out to Liz. Liz is amazing. If you don't know the Gabo Queen, you should.
But this animal, so this is what happens. We start getting to the cute Colossi here, Ruby, and I'm just like, no, poor baby.
I know, and here's the funny thing. This boss, so Sky, do you know how sometimes in a speedrun, there are parts that were the bane of your existence, and then you find out in the speedrun community, oh, actually, it's the easiest thing.
Yeah.
That's this boss. Okay. This boss was so hard for me and would kill me relentlessly when I played it casually. And in the speedrun, it's 45 seconds or less, super easy. Like, I could probably get you to the point of doing the speedrun in under a minute if I had 10 minutes in person with you.
I believe that.
I'm not even joking.
And that's one of the nice things, if y'all ever go to a GDQ in person, I'm talking to Chad as well, there are many folks in the practice room that are just, like, doing their thing, and it's so cool to go up and observe. Every now and then, they'll, like, you know, if someone's, like, feeling up to it, they'll do, like, a tutorial of some kind. Like, people are so friendly in the practice room when it comes to, like, speedrun tricks and things like that.
Yeah, I think one of the things I adore is that public practice room too, where you can also like rent out game consoles and things like that, because you'll see some people who have never touched a game before, who have never played something, just like, this seems like fun, let's just try it. Looking for other speedrun games, or getting together with friends and like bringing their own consoles to play a speedrun together. Like it's so neat. You never know who you're gonna meet or what games you're gonna run into. I specifically made sure not to take on too much this time so that I can spend more time in the practice room, because all the times I've been to GDQ, I have never been able to spend enough time there. Like, ugh. I want to see the things.
Well, if you ever do run into Liz Star while you're there, Liz always carries a Rystar cartridge at any given time.
No.
Like, any given time.
So Sky, Liz is actually a really dear friend of mine, and every GDQ we have this tradition of like going out for fun in your house, and yeah, we hang out and play games on the regular. So like I adore Liz. She's amazing. Yeah.
Yo. This is so odd.
Gosh.
Like I said, we were talking about this before the meeting, but because we're like so familiar with each other, I feel like I've known you for a while.
I know, just because when you're in that same circle, I had the same interaction, or a very similar reaction with Char and Carrie. Because we've all, like you and me and all of them, we've revolved around the same circles and have seen each other's speedruns, have been in the same community for years now, and it's very strange when you go, oh, huh, yeah, I guess we haven't met in person, but I feel like I know you.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Someone...
Oh,
sorry.
I didn't do this any kinds of right.
Now this one, you could convince me looks a little bit like a spider. Like, at least at the beginning there. A little bit.
Yeah, we typically refer to this one as a turtle. Also,
okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
This is my weakest Colossus. This is my absolute weakest Colossus.
You want serious time? You want to keep talking? What do you need here?
You know, that is a great question. I don't know the answer to. I wish I could give you one, but like...
No, you're good.
I think maybe just like hang out with chat.
Sure.
And yeah, and I'm gonna take a minute to see if this boss is going to have mercy, or if he is going to wreck me multiple times today.
Gotcha.
Only one way to find out.
So right here, someone asked, never been to a GDQ in person. What are your favorite types of things to do? Convincing friend. We were just talking about that with the practice room. A lot of people like to hang out in the practice room. You can rent consoles there. And mostly everybody in there is pretty friendly. Also, just 1 hour remaining, by the way, Ruby. 1 hour.
Okay, using the backup strat. We got this.
All right.
Oh, no, we don't got this. 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 We don't got this.
So, I'm going to continue to answer that
question.
question.
Sorry if I just killed anyone's eardrums.
You're good. Don't worry about it. Just do your thing.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. What else is fun to do though at a GDQ? Just saying hi to people every now and then. Doesn't have to be something super involved. But just being able to say hi, putting faces to names that you may have seen around the internet. Watching some of the interviews, and I'll tell y'all right now, if you're gonna be there for the interviews and the prize segments. Like, I know everybody's excited about the games, but the interviews and the prize segments in particular are like the things that I've personally been remembering. Maybe that's my bias as a host, but the interviews and the prizes are so much fun. Make sure if you're... Oh,
yeah.
Yes? Oh, look at the yeet! Look at the yeet! There you go.
We got it.
There you go.
Okay, now I can breathe. Hello. So we were talking about fun things to do at GDQ, right?
Yes.
Okay. Also, there are so many people who will just say, hey, we're going to an escape room. Anyone want to come? Hey, we're going to get food at this cool place. Want to come? So, like, you never know who you're also just going to randomly hang out with. It's dope.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, a lot of people like to go do escape rooms together. That's a lot of fun. That's something that I typically do. Or going to get like a meal everybody likes. I will say this though, whatever you do, just for the sake of convenience, do not stand in the lobby for hours because that's a good way for it to get to 10 p.m. and no one's eaten yet. So don't do that.
Yep, not saying that from experience.
Oh, yeah. Not saying that from experience.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, not at all.
So yeah, make sure you make like a couple dinner plans in advance, and that way that kind of thing doesn't happen. And also, you want to know what else I like to do at GDQ? And maybe this makes me an old lady by saying this. I like to sleep and not be like a zombie all day and be hydrated.
Yeah. Isn't sleep amazing?
It really is.
Also, I gotta say, for how rusty I am, doing that third try, not bad.
Oh, it's good. It's very good.
I'll take it.
Absolutely.
I'll take it. Oh my gosh. I'm. Oh god. Also, I didn't get to go to the arcade that much last year, and there were quite a few games I really wanted to try and didn't get the chance to. I'm also a huge like DDR fanatic, so like I want to play some DDR this year.
I am also a TCG or trading card game player, so I typically will bring a Magic the Gathering Commander deck. That's like the most common form Commander deck, or bring like a bunch of booster packs to draft, and that's also another way to kind of have fun if you're into card games. You can do Pokemon as well. I'm sure there's like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh folks there too.
Well, and on top of that, I know I know a lot of people are going to be spending time in the rooms playing not only card games but also board games, tabletop games. And I was going to say, you run Yu-Gi-Oh, right?
Yes.
I was going to ask if you were a TCG player.
I am.
Yeah. I used to play the Pokemon trading card game when I was growing up, and then had a tragic experience. Like a tragic experience that is the biggest regret of my life, and it's so silly. And I'm happy to tell the story if that's like too big a lead up. I know I have to talk about it. But like, I haven't played a trading card game since, but I love like board games, video games, tabletop games. So you're aware of how much a lot of like first edition holographic Pokemon cards are worth nowadays. So when Pokemon was really popular and first and second edition were coming out, I had a binder where I collected every Pokemon from first and second gen, all holographics, some in Japanese, some in with like alternate art.
Yes.
And when I got to middle school, people started telling me I needed to be more mature and that Pokemon wasn't for grown-ups. So I gave the binder to someone.
No!
And I looked up how much that binder is now worth.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have done that, Sky.
I feel that. Keep in mind, in order to like really get a good price on all that, though, it's got to be like graded, right? At least for the sake of what you're trying to do. So, and that does cost money to do. So it depends. You know, I'm trying to make you feel a little bit better about this, right? But no, I appreciate it. Thank you for making me feel better. No, I feel that. And I want to make that message known to chat. You are never too old for your passions and for your hobbies. Don't let someone tell you that something's not adult enough. Or if you stream, don't let someone tell you that that is not an actual, like, profession. Don't do that. You do you, chat. Like, seriously. Don't let people tell you any of those stereotypes. We are here to game and have a good time and raise money for charity in the scope of AGDQ. So just don't forget that throughout the marathon next week, all right?
Yeah. Exactly. And also, yeah, just snaps to everything you said. Like, It's amazing thinking about how much time I would have saved if I hadn't cared so much what others thought of me growing up. And now it's like, great, I dress the way I want to, I play the video games I want to, I speedrun and love my job. Like, it's really nice when you actually let your dreams not just be dreams, as Shia LaBeouf might say.
I mean, it's easy to feel that way. I remember, I've talked to Chad about this before, but like a few years ago, I got invited to the Mythic Invitational for Magic, and I was playing against Pro Tour caliber players. Like, oh yeah, it was content creators versus Pro Tour players. That was still wild to this day. And I actually had a few feature matches that are still on YouTube to this day. So that's like something that I kind of take away with me, you know?
That's amazing. Oh my god, how did that feel? How was it?
I mean, I played a few games as I normally would, right? And I think I was like 2-1, and then all of a sudden before I knew it, someone was coming to like escort me to like the feature match table, and I'm like, there must be some mistake. This can't be me. And then all of a sudden they turn on a camera and someone's announcing my day 9's announcing my name, and I'm like, okay, this is for real apparently.
That's amazing. Oh, did I mess this up?
No, you didn't.
Did I mess this up?
But I'll tell you, there was never more of an intense chance playing a card game than when someone turns on a bright camera and light in your face saying, okay, play a card game. Oh my gosh! Like, it was fun though. I wouldn't trade that experience for the world. It was a lot of fun. Oh my gosh, Ruby, no! You scared me.
I messed it up.
Go. It's just...
I messed it up. So you have to do precision stabs. Yeah. If you ever hear me say like a 0.9 stab or something, that's basically if you watch like the white like dotted line in the stamina meter, it basically just determines how much you've charged your arrow shot or your stabs, you know, which is really important for some of these bosses so you don't get a 2-cycle like I did just now, and like me getting yeeted off the horse just now.
That's okay. This is calculated. This is fine, chat. This is calculated. Don't worry. Ruby's got this under control. I have firm belief. We talked about firm belief earlier. I have firm belief here in Ruby.
Yeah. Totally. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna hey, Dirge, honey, sweetie, thank you. Yeah, some people yell at their bosses. I just talk them apparently, and somehow it works. I don't know.
There you go.
I just treat them like dogs. I just act like they're animals.
But yeah, I want to let y'all know again, for folks just coming in, and I know there's a lot of you here, so thank you again so much for your support here for GDQ Hotfix. Thank you for being here for Ruby, who's been doing a fantastic job with conversation, and equally, if not more of a fantastic job in gameplay. So Ruby, this has been a great run so far.
Thank you. I'm feeling a lot better about the Shadow run than Titan Souls. That definitely was, like, showing a little bit more of the rust, if you know what I mean.
Well, that was your warm-up, right? Like, that's why I like it when folks have more than one run, because sometimes they just need a little bit of a warm-up, you know, getting everything all situated and ready to go and such. So don't worry, that was your warm-up. Things are looking great here.
Yeah, absolutely. Here, were there any other questions from chat coming in? I'm having a blast, so thank you so much for having me. I love these runs, but sometimes, like, you take time away from them to work on something else and come back going, oh yeah, I do love this game.
That's great.
So,
there was a question.
It's really lovely.
What are the 6 reasons that aggro is the bestest?
Easy. Which boss am I headed to next? Which is 11? Solosia. Okay, cool, I'm good. So aggro has to deal with so much, like, direction from me. This is a horse who has to constantly and has thousands and thousands of times taken on this game with me. So you have to give her props for that. So that's number 1. 2, she is not only a gorgeous horse in this game, but as someone, like, I actually I'm not great, but I do ride horses actually
Really?
in real life. Yeah, so one of the things I really like about this game actually is if you look at the way that Wanderer is riding Agro, that's actually a lot more accurate to horseback riding movement than most video games that existed at the time.
Oh.
Because when you're have you been horseback riding ever?
No, but I've heard that the experience is fun, but it can be a little intense sometimes. Like I hear like kind of mixed reception on it.
Yeah, I feel like if people go in expecting it's just going to be fun and lighthearted, you're not going to get that. Like, you put in as much physical work as the horse does, because in order to, like, let them know to move forward and keep going at that speed, you do what Wander is doing here, which is the, like, banging your ankles against the side of the horse, which you may feel like, okay, I'm literally ramming my ankles as hard as I can into the side of the horse. To them, it just feels like you're poking them, like, hey, keep going. So if you hang out with horseback riders, their leg strength is ridiculous. So yeah, what he's actually doing with the up-down movement, this is weird. Fun fact, hey, you're not going to learn about speedruns, you're going to learn about horseback riding. The kind of up-down that he's doing here, just the pattern of the 1, 2, 3 and the speed he's going would be called a canter or a gallop. So depending on the speed of the horse, that changes the way you like move in the seat.
That's so cool. I never knew that. And again, I always, even back on the PlayStation 2 version, which by the way, this is the PS5 version, not the PS2, that I mismarked that at the beginning, so sorry about that, chat. But in the PS5 version, Agdara looks so much more like defined and refined. Like it looks good. The textures look good. Looks more of a realistic horse. And they weren't even that bad in the PS2 version, which I've seen more. Oh my gosh, you're going through rocks.
Hey, so you know how this is a show that's funny when you're rusty?
Yes.
So guess where I should have jumped down from?
Oh.
Right there, so I could get in there. Guess where I jumped down from? Right over there.
Oh.
Can you tell it's been a minute?
That's okay. That's part of the experience.
For a second, like, is this the right? I don't think this is. I feel like it's the right. It's fine. And then it wasn't fine.
Wrong lever.
Incredible. Oh, that's so funny. Can you explain the googly eyes on your headphones, Ruby? Yes, I can, Aitsu. So, I actually did my first few. I've been streaming for a few years, but I only started really doing it a lot more intensively in the past like year and a half or so. So during that time, I actually got to do a charity stream for the first time with Covenant House. So they do a lot of work raising money to basically help youths who are experiencing homelessness, to like get rehoused, to get food, shelter, safety, all those kind of things. And one of the like incentives that we had was to redeem putting googly eyes on things in my studio. And after the event, I just decided to not take down most of the googly eyes because they were really fun, and it reminded me of the lo-fi girl, and I listen to lo-fi music when I'm working a lot, so I just decided to leave them. Hence googly eyes.
That reminds me of Other Blues' coworker put googly eyes all over both their office because they share an office, so that's what that reminded me of.
Oh,
and I remember one time I was in there because I needed to just print something out of. Oh, look at this good Colossus! Oh my gosh. I couldn't help it.
These one I call my little lion boy, but it has like little horns. My favorites are the two little small boys, because I'm always like, oh, look at the little baby. Yeah. So thank you for having that reaction. I'm not alone.
No, of course not. But yeah, I went to go. We went to go close the door, and the back of the door had two enormous googly eyes on it. I don't think I've ever seen googly eyes on the back of an office door before, but it was kind of amazing.
Amazing. When people in the office are still human beings, and they're like, no, I'm gonna decorate my cubicle in like a fun way, or we're gonna go on breaks and like go do something fun. Yeah. Like I had some friends who would go and like get lunch from a local restaurant where you could like play mini bowling.
No.
So like things like that make work fun.
But yeah, I always felt that way about that Colossus, though. I was just like, oh my gosh, look at the little precious baby.
She's just a sweet little boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're headed towards a much bigger one now, so we'll have a moment before we see any super cute Colossi again. But once we hit 14, we'll have another adorable one. So we'll be able to have more excitement about Enemeies.
I always feel so bad, though, when they're like the cute, tiny, cuddly ones. Like the big ones I don't feel bad about, but the cute, tiny, cuddly ones, I'm just like, oh.
Well, and the next one especially, not this boss, but the boss after, is completely a pacifist. Like, Phalanx did nothing wrong, ever, in her entire life, and you just go in and kill her. Like, she did nothing wrong.
At that point, you have to consider, are we the villain here?
No, we're here's the thing. We're absolutely the villain. I have been speedrunning this game for many thousands of hours. I can tell you, Wander thinks he's the villain, and this is all for love, but it's like Romeo and Juliet of actually, no, you're just being dumb.
Yeah.
Because you're young.
Yeah.
Like, are you gonna look at it and tell me that I'm wrong?
No.
She came down in a bubble dug. Sorry, I reference vines like this all the time with my partner. Don't mind me.
Agro is too good for this rider.
Oh. Well, also, like, so Agro is not only too good for this rider, Agro is too big for this rider. Like, so no joke, in horseback riding, you would never put a rider that small on a horse this big. Like, in comparison to the environment, Agro would be not like quite Clydesdale size, but people have calculated it, and she would be pretty dang close.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so the true villain of this game is love? No, it's young stupidity. That's the true villain of this game, is young stupidity and a young boy deciding, hey, my teenage romance is worth making a deal with a literal god of duality who is good and evil. That seems like a great idea. Nothing's gonna go wrong with that.
There's a question from chat. Can you explain how the main character's appearance becomes more and more dark as the game goes?
Yeah, so actually, this is something that you can't really see as well in the PS5 version. It's very prominent in the PS2 version. So basically, you start off the game, and if you get the camera close enough to the character, you can see that you are very, like, your skin is very pink. Like, mine looks very pink, peachish under this light. But if you look at actually, like, Wander's hands and his feet, you'll notice that they're a little bit more pale. After you beat every Colossus, those, like, death tendrils, we like to call it the death spaghetti, kind of go into you. And that's Wander basically consuming more and more of the power of this dark being to help give it back its power. And that is slowly killing Wander's body. So at the end of the game during the credits, Dorman does actually hold up their end of the bargain and says, like, hey, I'm going to borrow your body, and then at the end of the game, when Wander dies, reincarnates Wander in a new body, but Wander has horns now because of the melt. You'll see later. It's a whole thing. It's a whole... Sorry, I've gone down way too many lore rabbit holes. Like, I worked with an indie game design company and wrote, like, a whole essay on my lore crafting and theories. I could rant about this game all day when it comes to theory crafting.
Also, does Wander have infinite arrows?
Yes. And the only weapons you have starting off are sword and bow. That's it.
Okay.
There are others that you can unlock that are like bonus for fun as a treat if you do boss rush in the different difficulties, but like you don't need them and you don't use them in the any percent.
So does that mean there's a new game plus then that uses the other weapons?
Yeah, so there are some weapons that can instantly destroy a sigil with a single hit. So in like New Game Plus runs. People will use that, and there's a cloak that like can make you invisible at certain times, and there's a strat that uses that. So there are several of those items that are considered pretty standard in New Game Plus. But in order to get a New Game Plus file going, you basically have to get a full damage and stamina bar and do a platinum run, and those take a long time. I say this from experience, and listen, there are some platinums that are great in video games. There are other platinums that are torture in video games. I love Shadow of the Colossus. I never want to run that platinum again in my life, because the first 2 hours are fun, right? Because you're running hard, and one of the trophies is like, you can't die. And on any percent hard, because you take so much more damage from Colossi, and you like have way less stamina, it's really difficult to not die in that game. But after you're past that point, you're getting a few other basic things, and otherwise the entire rest of the like 6 to 8 hour run is you just fighting the first 2 Colossi on that New Game Plus file over and over and over again, because that is the fastest way to get your stamina and your health all the way to the top, climb to the top of the tower, and then get the final achievements.
Dang.
So it kind of becomes a Sisyphean torture loop at a certain point.
No, I get you. And I love the reference, too. Another question, Chad. Can you go over the connection between this, Ico, and The Last Guardian, or is that too loaded?
No, actually, it's not too loaded at all. The creators of this series have confirmed that Eco, Shadow, and Last Guardian are not directly sequels of each other. So, like, they don't necessarily follow one after the other. However, they do all take place in the same universe. So a lot of people have theories as to how they're connected. So like I said, I wrote an entire essay just talking about Shadow's lore, let alone the others. But like a few things that carry through both games are the use of horns in creatures specifically. And usually they have some kind of dark power within them, or are in some way being controlled. That's because they're basically part of a reincarnation cycle that starts with this game. So if you look at it chronologically, the games would probably be in the order of Shadow, because this is where like the reincarnation cycle of the Curse of Dorman starts. Then Eco, and then The Last Guardian. You also can kind of track that through line because the technology in each game gets a little more advanced each time. And we do have a 4th game that is confirmed that I'm very excited about. And it will probably be the most recent in the timeline, because the little teaser image we have has like a big mech. And I'm very excited about it and hoping for robot fights. But one can only hope. If there are any other questions in chat, I'm happy to answer them. These are really fun.
This one I don't understand, but maybe you can let me know what this means. Have you tried using bottles against the Colossi? Bottles.
Yes, I can explain that. So, The Last of Us that we were talking about earlier, that is 100% an inside joke. So whoever said that, who said that, if I can ask?
Damason?
Damson. Okay,
yes.
Cool. Yep. Yes. So that's a member of my community. Yeah. So my partner and I played Last of Us 1 together. Like we replayed it together. And I always go into Last of Us like, I'm gonna stealth. And I'm gonna slowly lure boys to this small corner one by one, and then choke them and have a pile of boys. Like, that is the way I play it. And my partner's reaction to everything is to run at it, shout bottle, chuck a bottle into an enemy's face and start punching them and go crazy. And it's hilarious because they are actually really good at it, and it works when she does it. Like, I don't understand it, but it's hilarious. So the bottle is a 100% a, hey, have you tried throwing a Last of Us bottle at these Colossi? I have, and unfortunately they are ineffective because this sword is the sword of legend that does damage to the sigils, not bottles, unfortunately. Okay, let's see. We're headed to that next adorable one. So if you needed any kind of warning to like brace yourself,
Yeah,
this is it.
I know. I feel so bad for this baby.
Yeah, this baby is such a good boy. If I ever get a dog, I will be very tempted to name them Zenobia. Or just something related, like Senna or something like that. I don't know. Or just Senna, like, just baby. Because I call her Senna baby all the time. Let's see. I did see a question about, is there a fourth game coming out? Yes. So, to talk about this a little bit. So back in 2021, I want to say, the studio, so Gen Design, released a image that was wishing everyone a happy new year, and 2021 has 4 numbers, and it had images for the first 3 games in each of the slots, and the 4th slot for the 1 did have a really big image of a figure basically standing next to what looked like a gigantic, like, think Iron Giant kind of colossal machine. That's the best way I can think to describe it. Did I skip the cutscene?
Is that a good thing?
Yes, I just don't know how. Wrong boss! I went to the wrong boss!
What boss did you go to?
I went to boss number 14. We needed to go to boss number 13.
Aww.
Oh no! That's why the cutscene didn't play. I thought I discovered something fun and new. Ruby, you skip failings. Don't judge me, PDO. PDO is another amazing speedrunner of this game, and also this is rude. Don't call me out like this. Yay, mercy kill.
That's just part of the rust, you know?
Yeah. It's fine. Listen, we're just having a good time here.
That's right.
Like, it's okay. Oh man.
Yeah, 14's 13. There you go. See? I like Richard's logic.
Yeah. What happened? Great question, Boovlad. So I beat Colossus number 14. And in this game, you have to beat the Colossi in order. You cannot go out of order unless you are doing boss rush. So I headed with my brain thinking Zenobia was the next boss to Zenobia's arena and got all the way into the arena and then realized the reason that the cutscene didn't play is because the boss had not spawned yet. Because it doesn't spawn until you beat 13.
Just thought you discovered something new. Like, I was all for that.
I really thought I discovered something new, and then I had the heart attack in the moment of realization. Like, wait a second, no, I didn't do this boss. It's fine. It's fine. This is fine.
The moment the cutscene
also,
failed to happen, I was like, wait a minute, this is not where they were supposed to be.
Uh-huh. Also, if you're wondering why we have the joke about kissing or eating grass and rocks and things like that, it's because of that forest.
Yeah.
If you kickstart in exactly the wrong place in that forest because it's filled with a million bits of tall grass and rocks, Agro will just get really upset at you and kick back for a moment, and it loses like 4 or 5 seconds every time she does it. It's awful. Anyone that has played this game multiple times has done this at least once. Yep.
Well, yeah, I haven't seen you raise your sword up at least once, so I'm impressed that you remember where to go.
Oh yeah, and that was something, when I played it casually, I struggled with a lot, but once you know where to go, it's actually pretty easy to make your way through by, like, landmarks. I just haven't run it in a hot second, so of course I went to the wrong boss once. Man, and I was like, you know, this is actually a pretty good run. You know, I bet we could wait through the credits and it might be a PB. No, not anymore. Not anymore.
PB!
Those dreams are gone, but that's okay. I want to beat the mercy kill time, not my PB time. That's what I'm aiming for.
PB on mercy kill? No. Nah.
No. Apparently, my muscle memory and Agro decided that they understood the assignment and are here to blend in. Oh, hang on.
This looks hard.
Yeah, that was really good.
Ooh, Viagra.
Viagra, she's just here to yeet me onto the boss. We don't need her at this point.
Poor Agro.
There are so many times in this run where the main use of Agro is just to throw yourself off of her at high velocity and leave a horse confused.
Do you have?
I'm sure that must be very distressing.
Do you have an emote of Agro just like eating a character? Because that would be fun.
You know, I don't, but if I could have any kind of Agro emote, I would want one of Agro just with her legs straight out and glitching like crazy in a circle. Because that has happened to me. So if you accidentally bring Agro onto the Colossus, because if the Colossus dips under, you can do that. Agro will not understand what to do with it, and instead the model will just put its legs straight out, and the model, while frozen, will spin in a circle like this. It's amazing. So I would want that as an animated emote, if anything. I do have an angry wander, though. If there's anyone in my community, if you could show Sky the angry wander, that would be amazing. Is very funny and very cute.
No, I don't think Agro is the Yoshi of this game. We don't go chucking Agro into lava pits.
We do chuck her into a river, though.
What?
So...
Aww.
What? I mean, no, we don't throw her in a river. What? There's no... I will say, she does make it out alive. If anyone is worried about animals dying in this game, no, she does make it out alive.
I always feel bad when I'm watching a movie. Like, I don't care as much about the characters as I do the animals.
Yeah. Oh, right? Yep. Like, if Bobby dies, like, okay, that's a little sad. But if frickin' Spot dies, we've got problems.
Yeah. No, the thing I always dislike when I'm watching like an older movie, like let's say it's like a movie from like the 90s, 80s, like my partner will be like, you know, that dog probably isn't alive anymore. And I'm like, no! And I get so sad every time.
Well, we're headed back towards the dog again.
Yay!
Yay!
No!
You know, if I'd gone to the wrong boss early in the run, I probably would have, like, not given myself as much crap about that. This one I have to give myself crap on, considering the run to the boss is, like, 3 minutes.
Again, obligatory, please catch Peanut Butter's run at Awesome Games Done Quick 2024, because I'm partial to critters,
yes.
So watch Peanut Butter.
Yes, it's dog doing a speed run.
Yes.
And he is so cute. He is such a good boy.
Yeah, he is.
You all don't understand. Like, he is such a good doggo. And JSR, the human attached to Peanut Butter, is also doing a run. I always find it very funny. Like, I think that JSR is awesome. All my interactions with him have been great. But whenever I meet a dog first, my response is always, ah, yes, this is the sweet doggo. Ah, yes, and that is, they're human. The human attached to them, not like the cool speedrunner. It's, oh, and their accomplice.
I really hope that there's like, and I don't know, I'm going to say I don't know. I hope there's some kind of incentive to give PB pets maybe after the run or something.
I hope so too, now that you said that.
I want to give the doggy pets!
Ask JSR. Someone ask JSR. Someone ask JSR. If anyone has connections to JSR, this is the time.
I want to be able to donate to give the dog pets.
Yeah, I also just, again, I know JSR is going to be there in person. I know that the PB run is happening online for the sake of the fact that doggo.
Yes.
I understand. But I want to meet PB so bad.
Yeah.
And just give that sweet boy a hug. Like,
he is so well behaved. Have you seen him on stream?
Yes! Like, well, I haven't seen him on stream, but I watched the submission video and, like, so I don't want to give too many spoilers, but I did work with socials and JSR on a video that I'm very excited about, and many of the videos include peanut butter and are just absolutely adorable, and I sat there with my heart melting the entire time that I was working on it. Yeah.
I got a preview from the Yeti, like an email about like they were previewing some of the shirts, and I totally suggested to have peanut butter on a shirt, and one of the shirts looks like a dog and it says "such a good boy," and I'm just like, oh my god, they actually did it. It looks like they did it at least, so I'm hoping it's a peanut butter shirt.
Good.
This is why I can't host that
amazing.
run chat. I would just be gushing over the dog the whole time.
Just the entire time. Can we have a $50 donation for this good boy?
I would be talking like that the whole time.
What's the issue, Sky? I see no problem.
There's JSR!
Oh my gosh! JSR! He's watching! Oh,
sorry, we're
hang
gushing
on.
about your dog. I'm sorry.
Okay, JSR. We can't spoil it, but thank you for the work that we've done together. I'm very excited to meet you in person. And let me just say, since Sweet PB is here, that you are such a good boy. And we see how well behaved you are, Sky, and I do. Yes, we do. Also, I am such a huge fan of you and your speedrunning because you are the bestest boy. I'm hoping that he tilted at that. PB, peanut butter. Excuse me. Hi, you're a good boy.
Yes, I did see.
Please,
Can you
good
please
boy.
get peanut butter pets from both of us?
Yes, please. Listen, I know that we came here to play Shadow of the Colossus, but the moment that you come into a chat, JSR, we are going to ask about peanut butter, especially since we were just gushing about it.
JSR says giving him scritches now. Oh my gosh, that's so wholesome. Thank you.
We've got a celebrity watching. Can't believe it. I know, PB. Oh my goodness. What do we do? We gotta be cool. We gotta be cool.
Thank you, JSR. I appreciate that.
Yes! Giving him scritches.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I've been hyping up your run also as a fellow Castlevania runner, but I'm sorry. I can't help it. When there's dogs or critters involved, like, yes.
We came here for PBs and PB. I agree, Jay. I agree. I have 22 minutes left and 3 bosses. Can I do it including travel time? I don't know.
Yeah. I'm gonna say yes.
Oh, wait. That wasn't what I meant to do.
What did you do?
Something I wasn't supposed to.
What did you do now?
I broke it. I broke it. And now it's not broken. Cool.
All right, you unbroke it. Good job. Good job.
I unbroke it.
Oh my gosh.
I had to switch to 30 frames a second instead of 60 frames a second for this particular fight for the strat that I use. That I may or may not get, but we'll see what happens. We can only hope.
Like, just...
I wish I could bring him to the actual event so badly. Oh, if only.
I have seen a dog lose their stuff around, like, 3 humans. I could not imagine thousands of humans around a dog. The dog would just be running everywhere.
I understand why you're not bringing JSR. Like, if that is the reason, or if it's just like, oh, not a pet-friendly hotel, that I also get.
Yeah.
Please. No, that's fine. That's fine.
By the way,
fine.
anyone on Twitch and YouTube watching this, if you have a pet, a doggy, a kitty, a bunny, go give them pets. In honor of this wonderful Colossus, please go give these wonderful pets some love.
Nope, that wasn't the one. That wasn't the one.
You just don't want to hurt. It's such a cute Colossus.
It's very cute, but also, it's about to kill me.
Okay, well, that's fair.
Yeah, the small ones, when they got you backed in a corner, there's kind of no hope for you unless you can roll away, so I'm gonna hope.
It's just...
Nope.
It's just giving dodging hugs.
Okay, hang on.
Alright.
If I can recover this, that would be amazing. Okay. What I'm trying to do basically is if you spam the jump, there we go. If you spam the jump button like as hard as you can, or not as hard as you can, as fast as you can, you can get that jump up by glitching into the pillar. So, usually I get it a lot faster than that, but welcome to Mercy Kill.
Well, you want to know the positive? There are a lot of pets from folks in chat that are getting good scritches in pets right now, so thank you.
This is not even a joke. Do me a favor. If any of you are on Twitter, I'm not calling it the new name. I'm not doing it. I'm not. No, Elon. If you are on Twitter and you have a cute pet, feel free to post pictures of said cute pet.
Yeah.
And just tag me on Twitter. Just, it doesn't need any context. Just whenever you feel like it. It doesn't have to be tonight even. Just if you ever have a cute pet picture, you are always welcome to tag me. Like, yes. Love their energy, OMG. Yes, my energy is I love animals. And
yes,
my partner and I desperately want a dog. We have hardcore puppy fever right now, which is why I'm so extra tonight gushy about peanut butter.
Yeah. Well, I will send you a link to the Critter channel that I watch on the regular where they have live backyard animals all the time. Because
yes,
I have I kid you not, I have 2.3 million channel points on that channel. That's why it's always on my third monitor.
That's amazing. I love that. Oh, excuse me? No, ma'am. Starter? Okay, cool. We're good. We have 18 minutes and 2 more Colossi.
Yes, this is gonna be a thing. You can do this.
I'm trying to calculate the travel time in my head because, like, I don't know. I think I'll be able to get past all the bosses. I don't know if I'll be able to get past or get to, like, the final point where we actually call time. But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah,
I have hope.
Wherever you traditionally call time, by the way, is where we'll call time. Just wherever the speed run usually ends, we'll mark time there.
Perfect. Yeah, and I'll let you know once that countdown is happening. It's not on the final boss,
switch back to 60 FPS. Reminder from one of your community members.
Thank you.
That was from, my goodness, I can't read tonight.
PDO.
Yes,
you.
sorry.
PDO
the text looked small on my
yeah,
screen for a second because I messed up the text in my chat. Thank you.
You are all good. And actually, this is a moment where I'm gonna brag about a friend for a second. So PDO is one of my amazing mods and is the world record holder for this category of this game. And this is like the main category of the game. PDO is amazing at it. So,
gotcha.
Just like if you want to see good gameplay of Shadow, like I'm okay. Look at PDO. So.
You're amazing too at this, and I think PDO would agree.
Thank you. You were incredibly sweet. Once I get practice in on this again, it will be amazing. Tonight, I'm just like, I'm here for the vibes, and I'm really enjoying the run, and that's what I came for. That's what matters to me.
Oh, yeah, that's how I always run any of my shows on here.
Yeah. Oh, and I was going to say that favorite trick. Someone asked me about my favorite piece of tech or my favorite trick. It's on the next boss. Okay. Yeah, so the, like, magic trick boss, basically, is this one. And I would love to see if you can come up with any theories as to how this trick works by just looking at it.
I mean, you're talking to someone who does a speedrun trick called macaroni and cheese, which has nothing to do with mac and cheese, so, like, I get it.
No, but now you're making me hungry again. Sorry. I'm gonna have to go get some dinner. Oh my gosh. No, it's okay. Listen, it's on me because I had a really big lunch before this and was like, no, I'm fine. And now I'm like, oh my god, wait, hang on a second. Hang on a second. This may have been a grave mistake. It's fine.
I get that. But, by the way, I do want to give a big shout out. I know a ton of community members from Ruby Heart's channel have been here, and I just want to say thank you so much for being here. I know Ruby really appreciates this, and y'all have been just wonderful to have in chat here, so thank you all so much. I very much appreciate it. I hope y'all are enjoying the show.
Absolutely, and I'm gonna actually give a mirror version of that. And to everyone who hangs out with the Games Done Quick channel and watching the hotfixes, I've been able to do a few hotfixes before, and I want to do more. And again, getting to hang out with you for the first time here, like, pretty great way to first meet.
Oh, absolutely. And chat also, you're asking about mac and cheese. Macaroni and cheese is a trick from Super Mario Brothers 3. And guess what? You all can do it. I promise you all can do it. It's just 7-1 clip. It's 7-1 clip done the first time, mind you, but I won't keep count. You can tell me you got it. I won't know otherwise. But yeah.
What is that? 7-1?
Yeah, you have to be at least Big Mario, but you run into the wall and you get to skip the whole level. That's all you have to do. You run in the wall, you jump up on the 1 pixel, and if you hit the wall just right, you finish the level. It's pretty neat.
That's amazing. Oh, that's really
They just
cool.
didn't know what to call it other than 7-1 clip, and someone had suggested, oh, well, we'll call it macaroni and cheese because we don't know what else to call it, so.
Oh my god. This one isn't really adorable. Unfortunately, we have passed all the adorable Colossi. I am sad to report. This one looks a lot more like a gorilla, if anything.
Okay, alright. So it's Donkey Kong.
Yes! Yes, actually. Yes, if you gave him a very big mallet. Like a very big axe mallet. Good mac and cheese can't be speed ran.
Yeah.
You have to take your time.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh god, have you ever made like a really good mac and cheese with the full roux?
Yes.
And like I always put bacon bits and like breadcrumbs on top too when I do bakes. Like, oh.
Yes. I actually, there's a place I like to go to near where my in-laws live, and they have some of the best mac and cheese ever, and it has crumbles on, like bread crumbles on it. It's so good.
Oh, that's amazing! Everyone came here for Mercy Kill, hoped for Titan Souls and Shadow commentary, instead got to listen to us talk about cute animals and mac and cheese.
Yeah, that tracks just about everything I do. Yeah, that tracks.
Alright, so watch carefully.
Alright. Ooh, right in the hand. Ooh.
Yep, you're not supposed to be able to grab there yet. That is like a glitch grab.
That's so cool, though.
That you can do. Yeah, so like, you use the magnet hands. Oh, look, this is the part. Hang on.
Okay, you're good.
Cool. Hello, we're here. So how can I go vertically up?
I mean, it's working.
Uh-huh. So, weirdly, in this game, so you know how on that turtle boss I was having a hard time with, I kind of launched myself to the side off of the knee? Weirdly, this boss works very similarly, of if you grab that part of the knee and then side jump at the right time, you can get yourself to yeet upwards instead of to the side. And for the hand, you aren't supposed to be able to grab there until you get him to drop the weapon. But basically the way it works is there's like a teeny little bit of fur, and if you do the magnet hands thing I was mentioning of like hitting grab when you're not quite close enough to grab the thing, but it wants you to be close enough, if you do it in exactly the right spot in the air and pretend like you're going past the hand instead of trying to go directly into it, at the right distance, it'll auto grab you onto the fur. So I'm really glad I did that first try, because that is a really hard trick. And we're now headed towards final boss with 11 minutes left. Oh.
Let's go.
Okay, we'll see how this goes.
Oh, you'll be good. I have no doubt.
I will at least beat all the bosses, and for that I am proud.
When does the timer stop for this, Ruby?
Yeah, so basically after you beat the final boss, there is a cutscene you skip. You wander around a little bit as a big monster, so you get to be the doorman for a second. And then time stops when, at the very end, you jump into this big beam of light pool in the middle of the temple. I know that sounds very weird right now, but the beam of light is very hard to miss. So, like, when the cutscene starts, that is the beam of light stopping, and Wander has been consumed by it, that is when time stops. I'll count it down, too.
Gotcha.
So... Yeah, made it look so easy. Good job. Oh, thank you, Mountain Dog. Yeah, if anyone has last questions, like, this was my first speedrun game, and there's a reason why I still run it. Like, it's beautiful, it's a ton of fun. I really enjoy a lot of people in the community who run it. And honestly, like, just the gen design games in general, like, there are a lot of really kind speedrunners who are runners of Eco and Last Guardian. But I also, like I said, speedrun a lot of stuff, so, like, I'll show you that board during the credits, but that little cork board has a list of all the games I run or am hoping to run at this moment. And I haven't even added all of them yet, so that's cool.
I also, too,
So,
I mean, I know we're going to be talking
yeah.
about a lot of stuff still, but I do want to wish you all the best vibes for your interview segments during GDQ.
Thank you. I'm really excited because we're trying quite a few new things this year, but I think that they're all, like, really, really exciting developments. So I'll be very interested to see how people react to some of the new segment types that we're bringing into the game. You know? Yeah, I'm really excited about it. I'm super pumped. Oh gosh, and can you actually hang on to one of the birds? You can, as a matter of fact. There are a few places you can grab onto them pretty easily, but you can't grab onto them just anywhere. And I was gonna say, y'all also just, like, if you haven't followed the host, that's silly, and what are you doing?
Oh, thank you.
You should follow Sky. I got you.
I appreciate that.
Absolutely. I am wholeheartedly an advocate of, if you have seen someone's work and you really enjoy it, like, shout it from the mountaintops, because like, in so many industries, that's weirdly how we are helped in our jobs, but also just, it's nice to be able to say, hey, I really like what this person does, and earnestly go, hey, go follow them, because they're cool and you should watch their stuff. I don't know, there's something really great about that.
That means a lot to me, and I already have done my volunteering, so I helped select hosts. I was on the host committee for GDQ 24, so I know they're all going to do a fantastic job, but I just want to shout out the hosts again, just because it's a really hard job. It's a job that, you know, a lot of the stuff that happens with it does take place behind the scenes. What you see actually happening on camera is only a tiny part of that. So again, just all love for the hosts and everyone involved within the hosting department. That includes our two new host co-coordinators, Kyle Thomas and Char Bunny. Again, thank you so much to y'all for all the hours y'all have put in to make this possible.
Yeah, those two are, as hosts, as coordinators, as speedrunners, and just as people, are incredible. If you ever had any questions or doubt, as someone who has met them multiple times in person, I can assure you they are two of the sweetest human beings that you will meet. Like, they're great. Okay, 7 minutes. Oh gosh, we are really coming down to the wire. At this point, for a few, I may turn over checking chat to you, Sky.
Go for it.
But please feel free to keep talking to me and throwing questions my way. It's a very good distraction from my panic.
So, a little bit about lore here. So, what exactly here happened to Agro? Here, chat's looking kind of sad right now. Everyone said she's fine, but is she?
So basically, if she were in our world, she wouldn't be, because her ankle does break in that. But at the end of the game, in the credits, basically the bridge collapses under her. But she does get swept up in the water, and she does, in the end credits, find her way back to the temple. And there's a really sweet scene of, like, the girl that you were trying to bring to life coming to life, and then hanging out with Agro and this new baby, and very clearly being like, yes, we are going to live a good life here.
Aww.
So yeah, so Agro does get to live happily ever after, even if a little worse for wear.
Well, I'm going to believe my own lore that Agro is going to be healed and cared for. So there you go.
Yes, I love that. I love that headcanon. Let's follow that.
Yeah.
Yes. this is the moment where I might be panicking, so.
It's alright, we're all cheering for you, Ruby. Don't worry about anything except just doing the thing. We'll be here cheering you on.
If you were wondering if that was supposed to happen, I can assure you it wasn't.
Hey, they don't have to know that. Chat doesn't have to know that.
Yes, I meant to take a missile to the face, chat, if you were wondering. That is an intentional strat. I wanted to show you that rock. It is a very important rock. Anyway, moving on to the actual game now. I'm gonna try and recover this, but I don't know if I'll be able to with the health that I have remaining. We will see.
Oh, wow. I assume there's no way to recover the health.
So, there is a way, but you have to take more time because you have to kind of crouch and stay in a single place for a little bit. Then it will slowly regen, and obviously we don't want to do that in a speed run. What I'm basically trying to do here is there are certain places that you can run and jump and whistle, and if you get the right timing, then you can not get hit by any of the lasers, the heat-seeking missiles. As you can see, I'm doing a great job of dodging the missiles right now. Really, like, peak work. Ah! So there's that really important rock again that I mentioned a second ago.
It's okay.
I know.
You can do it.
I know. You know what? I might... I'm gonna try one more time, and if I can't get it... I'm gonna let him kill me and try this one more time. If I can't get it, then I will do the backup way.
Okay.
And that's okay.
That's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's alright.
Don't worry about this. The final boss for a reason. This does not look easy. 3 minutes.
Okay.
Do it in whatever way you think you can do it in 3 minutes.
Yeah! Totally! No. Okay. Alright. At this point, I just want to beat this boss in the next 3 minutes. Like, I just want to get the sword in his head. If I get that, I'll be happy.
Gotcha.
I'm just gonna... yeah, we're gonna take the safe way. If I can. Fingers crossed. Okay. 1, 2...
There you go.
3, 4... Okay. I'm gonna do some more speedrun stress coming up here. The reason why I'm like, I don't know if we're gonna make it to the very, very end, is just because the dormant section takes like a minute, because you're basically just hanging out in a temple waiting for some boys to leave for like a minute or two.
Gotcha. This is
so
just, wow, this is giving me, for anyone who remembers American Gladiators, I'm just waiting for Ruby to start shooting the Colossus with a tennis ball cannon.
I mean, I am gonna do an early shot here in a second and a weird jump, so like, that's close to a tennis cannon, right?
Yeah.
Close enough.
Works for me.
All right. Oh no! Hang on, hang on, hang on! Don't do it! Don't do it! Don't do it! Okay, we're good. Sometimes if you end up a little too far forward or back on that ledge, then it will still hit
60 seconds.
Okay, okay. Sky, you have fun with chat for a minute. I'm gonna focus on this.
You got it.
And see. Yeah.
No worries. You always wanted to run around in the giant hamster ball. Heck yeah.
Oh, same. I've never been in one of those. Love rock climbing though.
I don't know how you can climb in the rain, but Link can't. Like how this character can. 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, and
Oh,
that's
so close.
time!
That's all right. That was
Well,
a
you know what?
heck of an
That's
effort.
okay. We got to the final boss. That's what matters to me. And I
Mm.
had a blast today. This was so fun.
Yeah, I mean, that was close. Honestly, I think if you don't accidentally go to the wrong Colossus, which that can happen, right? Like, that can happen to anybody. I think you may have actually had this one.
I think that I absolutely would have if not for that time loss, because the travel time going to that boss twice, that lost me anywhere from between 2 and 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think I definitely could have gone under if not for that. That was like the really big mistake. But I still had a really great time. So I'm really glad I could introduce you to Titan Souls too. How did you like
Mm-hmm.
it now that you were able to see a little bit of it?
I thought that was really sweet. I think it's actually a good 2D rendition of this. Like, that's what it did remind me of. So I get that.
Yeah, and like the electric eel too, the fact that there are the two bosses in both games. I have a headcanon that these two universes, even though they're different studios, are also tied, but that's just a fan thing. So yeah. Thanks for the
So,
GGs, everyone. I really appreciate it.
of course. And Ruby, I just wanted to know, like, did you have fun? What did you think of the Mercy Kill experience?
Oh, I had a blast. I tend to get so in my own head when I've been speedrunning a game for a long time. And I'm getting back into it after a little bit because of the rust. So being able to do a no reset run and just see what happens for me is a lot more fun. And it also reminds me of like racing games with friends. So being able to try and race against the timer and getting so close and being able to introduce people to it was a lot of fun.
Sure. And what is
Yeah.
speedrunning but competing against yourself? Like, that's what it is, competing against yourself, your own
Hmm.
times. I mean, that's kind of the essence of this show. It also kind of, with the timer ticking down, it gets rid of the whole I have to reset every 5 seconds kind of deal. It kind of gets you to
Hmm.
play through the whole game so you can kind of assess, okay, these are things I'd want to work on, if I were to speedrun again, which I don't even know if I have to ask you on this game. I'm sure you're going to come back to this game at some point. It's one of your favorites.
Oh yeah, so I know there are some speedrunners who mainly pick games that they don't like to speedrun or that they don't enjoy casually because they don't want to ruin like a game they enjoy. For me, it's the exact opposite. If I speedrun a game once, I'm most likely going to continue speedrunning it because all the games I pick are ones that I could spend thousands of hours in and still be happy because I love them that much. So part of the reason I talk about these games so much is because not only do I speedrun them, but I legitimately love them and will proselytize about them as much as I can to introduce people to them because they truly are masterpieces in my opinion.
Well,
So,
I
yeah.
also do want to know, do you have any last minute shout outs before the end of the show? Of course, I do want to say again, thank you so much for doing interview team at GDQ, which is upcoming soon. We're only a few days away and I'm super excited. But do you have any shout outs that you would like to give?
Yeah, honestly, as far as doing AGDQ, it's my pleasure. It's my honor. I'm so happy to be a part of that team. So yeah, if you all want to see a bunch of us there, we'll be on all day, all week next week. But I fly out tomorrow, so that'll be fun. Otherwise, like we were saying earlier, you can find me at twitch.tv/rubyheart. And oh gosh, I said a bunch of the speed runs earlier. I speed run those games. So like Shadow of the Colossus and Transistor and Hades and Donut County and stuff like that. So yeah, that's me. Otherwise, I just want to say thank you to my community for coming out and hanging out today, and always being supportive of me doing what I love to do. Y'all are the best. I think that's it.
All right. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Thank you so much for being on the show, especially so close to when you're going to be traveling. I know things were very hectic for you, so thank you so much for taking the time. I really appreciate that. And also, please be sure to give Ruby a follow. That is at twitch.tv/RubyHeart, RUBIEHART, all one word. So, with that being said, this isn't the end of our GDQ broadcast tonight. Speaking of which, again, I did want to remind you all that Awesome Games Done Quick 2024 starts this weekend, Sunday, January 14th. Come watch a week of runs, broadcast live from Pittsburgh, PA, benefiting the Prevent Cancer Foundation. And also, again, your subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, and bits shared on the GDQ Twitch channel help support Games Done Quick Hotfix. If you enjoy watching speedruns daily, consider subscribing to the channel. As for what's coming up next, stay tuned for a Jet Set Radio Future special coming up next. Take it away.